Salakia, got interrupted again, but going back to the chart, man. Zebulon is the so-called Guatemalans to the so-called Panamanians. Gad is the so-called Native American Indians. Reuben are the so-called Seminole Indians. Asher are the so-called Colombians to Uruguay. Issachar is the so-called Mexicans, and Naphtali is the so-called Argentinians to the Chileans, man. Right here is Isaiah 11:11. It says, scattered throughout Africa and abroad. Ultimately scattered through all four corners of the earth, man. Because there's Israelites all over, man. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 11 through 16, and it reads, come ye children, hearken unto me, I will teach you the fear of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. And this is what's happening in the earth right now, man. Verse 12, what man is he that desireth life and loveth many days, that he may see good? Verse 13, keep thy tongue from evil and thy lips from speaking guile. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. And these people aren't doing that, man. They're pursuing wickedness, and the Lord is recompensing them for what they're doing, man. Verse 15, the eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cry. Verse 16, the face of the Lord is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth, man. These people are getting cut off the earth for their wickedness, man. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17, and it reads, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. And if it begin at us, what shall the end of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High be, man? Let me read it again. 1 Peter 4:17, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans, And if it first began at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High, man? What is the end of these people, man? When it's judgment, man. It is judgment from the Most High, man. Because they're not calling on the names of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. The people out there are big into Catholicism. The elder was going into that Catholicism, witchcraft, brujeria, as they say in Spanish. They aren't calling unto, Yahweh, which is the name of so-called God, which this world ignorantly calls, and Yahushua, which this world ignorantly calls Jesus, man. His name is Yahushua, man. It's the book of Judges, chapter 10, verse 14, and it reads, go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen, let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. And these gods aren't, saving these people out of their troubles, man. They're getting judged because ultimately there's only one creator, and his name is Yahweh, man. Hey, the judgment is coming, and it is beginning at the house of the Most High, man. With that, I hope this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash, Shalom.